Right?
Stack of paper.
Tonight on the news.
Everything, yes. Tonight, 12:01. Updates with Medicare. Hey, howdy. Happy Friday. Friday.
Yes.
This is a special edition here. We're kind of doing we're supposed to have one more. I think they're actually in a meeting right now. But for right now, it is me and Miss Penny Saylor here. We are going to do something different that I've kind of mentioned to her, but I haven't told her the whole thing. So I was thinking about this, yesterday. Howdy. There's one more. Okay. Perfect. Frank, you gonna sit down here too?
I can for a few minutes, but I have more things I need to get done.
Yeah, you're gonna sit down here for a little bit.
I'll sit in here for a little bit.
Okay. Well, now the gang's all here then. Okay.
Got the band back together.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're back together.
So, where this kind of came from, me and Frank were chatting yesterday, and one thing kept coming up, which we could kind of see here. Sometimes it happens to all of us. What is your goal for doing certain things? Why do you do certain things? Why do we say what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do we give and take away? Why do we do what we did? So, go on this, don't y'all. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you go into a sale wishing to sell something, you're not going to do it because your goal is to sell. And if your plan is to do X, Y, Z in order to sell, that is your goal. If you just go into it and say, I hope I sell something, that's not a goal. So today, what we're doing, this is a little insight behind the scenes here. We're going to go through some of these things, and I want to get your guys' opinion and see why we do things the way that they are structured. Why we ask. Me and Penny, I wish, Adrian, we can do this later too. We're going to make a video on this. Me and Penny had a great conversation about the give and the takeaway. Because I told Penny to do one thing to bring up final expense, and she went on a 30-minute final expense pitch. And it was perfect. It was just the guy wasn't home.
Yeah.
That was it. But, so, you guys each have 5 there.
Thank you.
So, you guys each have a copy. So, go ahead, grab your copy. Now, this is yes, this is the agent script.
Oh, you're so organized.
Because you guys are agents. You're not apprentices anymore. So to start here,
Oh, I see.
and let's start with Frank here. Okay. Number 1 here, introduction. What is your goal in the introduction?
Don't get hung up on it. First and foremost, be able to continue the conversation.
Mhm.
So to do that in there, I do a few things. Number 1, I need to establish myself that I have good energy at first, right? Number 2, I need to establish a peerage with the client. So I'm going to default call them by their first name, and that's it. Number 3, I'm going to establish why I'm here and who I am. I'm a Medicare specialist in whatever state, and I'm here to help you. And then I will do nothing because they're expecting a pitch, and they want to be able to reject me right away. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. I do it, go, hi, first name, my name is Frank Bryant. How are you doing today? Because the first thing they want to do is, I don't want to hang up. But if I throw, how are you doing today? Or some sort of pattern interrupt, I don't care what it is. As long as it's a conditional thing to where the natural response, that guttural response is, I'm good. Okay, great, glad to hear it. I'm giving you a call because I got your request, or you're on the phone with me because they sent you over to me for help with Medicare, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Medicare specialist, and I'm here to help. Quiet until they say something or until it gets awkward, generally about 4 to 5 long seconds, right? And at that point, I go, so what's going on? As if I'm going, what do you want from me? And then they go, or, I don't know, I just got a call, or no, I just didn't call from you. Oh, well, again, Medicare specialist, I'm here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you need me, what's going on? And then they usually go, oh, well, I'm looking for this, this, or this. The key is that in one statement, one sentence, try not to get hung up on. I'm introducing a pattern, I'm establishing that I have a range of emotions. Number 1, I'm up. Number 2, I'm a little bit low when I'm telling you what to do, because that's not a request, that's a command, right? Number 3, I have to do the pattern. I have to establish what I'm here for and what I do. And then I also have to leave them hanging. because I'm not going to give an elevator pitch. At this point, this is
Right.
not a sales conversation.
Right.
So that's all things that happen in one sentence. So the introduction is a very important thing, but it also leads into the next thing, which is gaining control.
We'll get to that. But
Mhm.
what's your goal, Penny? For the
Not get
force
hung up
personnel?
on.
Okay.
Establish some kind of conversation that has nothing to do with their Medicare, but make sure they understand I'm here to help.
Okay. You see, everybody's going to have a little bit different goal, but at the end, it's going to be the same.
Right.
My goal is to not sound salesy at all.
Which is hard for you because you're a smooth talker.
Well, smooth guy, but with some of this new lead source, what's been going on is, there is that delay, so we have to make for that. I make the most out of it because it's like an extra pause in there. It's perfect. So I call, hey, Medicare gurus, you got Jacob Crowder here. And I'll pause a little bit because delay, and they go, hello. I go, yeah, it's Jacob here. Who's this? This is Cherry. Hey, Cherry, I'm Jacob here, Medicare specialist. What's going on? What? What's going on? Well, I don't know. They just called me. Well, you just called me, so guess what? We're in the same boat. They called you and you called me. Somehow we're here together. Let's make the most out of this, okay? All right, let's see.
We're in this together.
We're in this
Right.
together. Because then at that point, people were expecting, like you said, the elevator pitch.
Right.
They're expecting to, hi, this is Jacob with Medicare Gurus. Do you have a Medicare supplement that I can help you save money on? Or do you need more
Yeah.
benefits? Or instead of going through, like, there's such a, when you look at vernacular, there are certain words that mean certain things, okay? Like today, when I picked it up that you were saying, you kept saying advocate, advocate, advocate. An advocate in my mind is somebody who does something for free. That's what it is. I'm not here to do anything for you. I'm just, here's my opinion. I'm a Medicare specialist. I'm not an advocate. A social worker is an advocate. I'm not an advocate. I'm here to be your agent. That's what I'm here for. I'm a Medicare specialist. First and foremost, that's what I am. That's what I've been telling these people on the phone too. But my goal is to almost be awkward enough to where they feel more awkward than you do picking up a random phone number. Because it's a common thing. Like with the last one I did with the lady here, that was a situation where I made her almost feel like,
You have to justify your existence.
this is kind of awkward. It's like, no, I'm taking time out of my day to talk to you. Why should I talk to you? And these people that call, they don't do that. They don't. They just go straight into, hi, are you on Medicare? Perfect. Do you need some more benefits? Or it's that time of year where we look to make sure that you're okay. Or look, I'll look and see if there's any benefits. And if there are more benefits, then I'll tell you about them and we can go from there. Okay, perfect. All right, let me get this. No, it's not any of that. The simpler you can make it, again, we've been talking about this for the entire week, the wider you can cast your net,
Mhm.
the more you have to talk about. So that's why I just say, hey, what's going on with your Medicare? Well, I don't have anything going on. Okay, perfect. Does that mean it's good? Yeah, okay. Well, let me see here. You have Medicaid? And just don't stop. Keep going. So that's my goal, is to not sound salesy at all, but not necessarily put them on their back heels, but get that in their head thinking like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing without even saying it.
And also there's a function of this. If you can establish that and not by saying this, the worst thing in the world you can say is, I'm just trying to help you, or I'm not trying to sell you anything. No, that's what people that are doing the exact opposite say they're doing. That's what politicians do. What you do is, right? No, but if they get a sense, and you have to establish a sense of, I don't have an agenda yet because I don't know what's going on. Therefore, I'm not trying to sell you anything. They don't have an agenda. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people are going to engage with you
Mm-hmm.
because you're not trying to take anything from them.
Right. And let me say that this first part was probably one of the hardest things to do because I've always had an elevator pitch. You've always do bring something with a nice inflectual voice to draw them in. And so it works. So what's going on? and they'll just start throwing up in the mouth. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're really telling me what's going on. Every once in a while, they'll say, I don't know, you'll get that. I don't know, you called me, and then but I mean, for
But
sure,
they don't
you've
hang
got
up
some
and you get to engage in
Right.
that conversation.
Yeah, right.
So that's it.
So it does. It
Kim,
works like a charm.
what's your goal out of it? What
To
are
get
you
them
trying?
talking.
Okay.
To get them to tell me what's going on, because something's going on. Everybody's got something going on.
Right.
Too many co-pays, not enough, you're paying for your meds, or they're not being covered, or a doctor, or, your friends have a food card and you don't. Well, something's happening.
Right.
It's 3:00 on a Tuesday and you're talking to me. Something's going on.
Yeah.
I always compare it to, and it's a lot of it for these people, and it's your own personality. Everybody has their own way of doing it. But I'm sure you guys have heard me say too, where it's like, well, I love my fiance. I don't call up random women and just start talking to them. Saying, no, how can I improve this one? I'll leave this one. I'll get the improved version of this one. No, you don't do that.
Right.
So that's what I tell people. It's like you're married, but you're looking for something a little better. If you're really married to it, you ain't looking. If you're
Right.
picking up the phone for benefits
Right.
or whatever it is, there's
Something.
something there
Right.
that we can uncover.
Yeah.
Because there's something you're not happy about. If you got to pop away, that's okay.
I'm going to pop away here.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Thanks, Frank.
We'll get to it. This,
Frank.
this can be a fun one.
I know, but I have,
Having
I have
fun.
a
Thanks.
maximum-
You have
You're
to
good.
thanks.
and I also had a computer crash on me, so I'm actually a couple hours behind.
Oh, shoot.
So,
Okay.
Computer is so great.
so
All right. Let's go to number 2 here.
Okay.
Gaining control. Kim, what's your goal here?
To not let them talk over me. And sometimes, like I said, they may just start running in the mouth, and I can't get them to shut up. And it's got to be, okay, I got to draw them back in. And now it's time to get down to business. And what is your name?
Right.
Okay.
Who are you?
Right.
Penny, what's your goal? And I'm taking notes here for both of you guys, so we can kind of compare and everything here too. So Penny,
Yeah.
what's your goal with the gaining control?
And that's an amazing tool, this gaining control section, where you have to get the information from them, because it helps so much with that very thing. Because I have people who are telling me all about 10 or 15 years of health things. And it's like, but well, you said you needed this. Let me see how I can help you with that. First, I need to get some information and then go right into there. So I guess it's just you need the information, or how would you know if you can help them with anything? I mean, regardless of what they say they want. Well, I'd like $1 million, but I don't know if somebody on the phone is going to be able to get me $1 million,
Yes.
So, without the information, you need the background, but you can get the background stuff as you're going through looking, once you have that information and you know what they have, or
Okay, so what I'm kind of feeling between both of you guys here, and I can see them blending in. You're worried about being talked over.
Yeah.
You're worried about not being able to stop somebody talking.
right.
That's the issue here.
Exactly.
And what it is, it's a skill that you have to learn, but you can't be afraid of it, because when you do it, when you stop them, a lot of these people that just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and don't shut up. If you go, hey, look, I have to do this. So what is your zip code?
Right.
They stop and go, oh, maybe I am over talking. Like, I forgot who was the,
Yeah.
I think it might've been that one lady we had in the very first day of these new transfers that would just not stop interrupting us. And
Right.
finally, that's why I was like, no, it's like, say like, Deborah,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Yeah.
Stop talking. And she was like, okay, I'll stop. And you're like, stop talking. She's like, I'll stop. And I'm like,
I know that was
mm.
very difficult.
But that's what it seems like. So we have an issue being talked over. We have an issue not stopping somebody from talking.
Right.
What you really have to do is you have to find that moment to pivot off of. You always want to be in control here. You never not want to be in control. Because once you lose your control, they start directing everything. They
Right.
direct where the conversation goes. They direct where it leads to. They direct to everything like that. So for both of you guys, what I see is something that we can kind of work on here is just being able to recognize it. because this right here, my goal in gaining control, and this is Jacob's here. Yes, it is to take over the conversation and say, you know what, here, take my hand. We're going to go on a trip together. We're going to be you and me. We're going to go through this thing together. But I have something else in mind here. Out of these 5 questions, which for you guys, you don't have a piece of paper because you don't work here. So you don't get it. But when we ask, okay, what is your birthday? Are you a tobacco user? What is your zip code? Why do we ask those questions?
So they're giving us necessary information
Number 1, yes.
and focusing their attention to, they're getting us something that we need to accomplish anything. In order to find their needs, we need this information. So then we're getting them to do something for us.
Okay. Why else?
Maybe to establish some professionalism, and that I'm working here for you and I need this information so that I can move forward, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure.
This is why I told Penny too, because I was helping her with the final expense thing today. This is why this is one of the first things you want to have in the account. And you want to make sure that you click next and you have it updated so you have it ready. Because guess what? I can tell you everything I can sell you 1 minute in, and you don't even know it yet. Because just like when we get to here in a second, when we start talking about Medicaid, I already have your zip code. I can look up what Medicaid plans there are.
Mhm.
If there aren't any Medicaid plans, I can look that up from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's why when you're an agent and you get more experience doing this and you get more comfortable with using websites, using the CRM, using agent portals, everything like that, I've got 5 different windows open at all times when I'm talking to somebody. I've got phone, I've got CRM, I've got agent passwords, I got portals, I got other stuff I can look up. For a lot of these people that are calling in, if I don't get their name in the first thing, I have True People search up, and I'm putting their phone number in as I'm doing the, hey, I'm a Medicare specialist, and I'm typing in 687, what's going on here? And about 60% of the time, it pulls up their information. So if they didn't say their name, I have their name right here. I have the address. I have their zip code. I can just verify everything. But having your zip code and your birthday, that will tell you what all you can do with them. Because if they are 70 years old, okay, we got the oyster here. Without going into anything, I can gain control and then go any direction I want. But if we know from the get-go you're 51, like take the guy you just got off the phone with, who's 51 and disabled, you know that from 2 minutes in. Okay, you're 51 years old. This wide net of supplement, of everything else has now just went.
Right.
So you're 51 years old. We're not even going to talk about this.
Right.
I can just put that away. You're gaining control of really yourself
Right.
and what you're limited to. So that's what I see out of it, of the gaining control, is I already know what I can do when I get that information. So a lot of them too that don't want to give me their birthdays, or I'll mix it up and I'll go, okay, how old are you? No, just say 63, whatever it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I can formulate that up here. I already know. They say 81, I kind of know what situation we're getting into. But from there, there's no reason to bring up the guy's 51, disabled. More than likely he's on Medicaid. More than likely he's on Medicare.
Right.
I can turn off this Medicare switch already and not worry about it. So that's why that is so important for me. That's why I love having the account updated and everything, because I can go and I can tell you what DSNPs are available. I can tell you what Advantage plans are available. At age 53, I can tell you how much a Gerber final expense is in the state and the zip code that you're in. I can tell you how much a Cigna life insurance policy is by your birthday and your zip code. That's all I need to quote you anything Medicare is your birthday and your zip code. That's why those are there. Okay, so next one here. Kim, I want you to tell your story about your sale yesterday for number 3 here. Verifying decision maker. I know you had a headache yesterday doing that. Go ahead. Tell us a
So
little
you're
bit.
talking about the lady that had the power of attorney?
Mhm.
She was power of attorney. So, well, I mean, I established that pretty quick into the well, no, wait a minute. All right, let me think about the call. She did tell me that she had a power of attorney. She definitely had her wits about her, but she was 83 years old.
Mhm.
But then as we got to talking and uncovering some things, I realized she probably needs somebody to be checking on her. And so who does that? And then she was forthcoming on that information. So she wrote down, my phone number and said that she would, because she couldn't find the lady's phone number. So she was frustrated and it took her forever. And I was like, look, just because I knew that if I just gave her my number, I was pretty sure I was never going to hear from him again.
Right.
But that's what I did. And sure enough, the POA called me back like 10 minutes later. And she was just so thankful I was helping her. So it was a really rare circumstance.
Wow.
But yeah, we got all three on the
Special.
phone and we worked through it and we got everything taken care of and they were just thrilled. So, but yeah, I mean, I must admit there's been some times when I've already been on the phone for a good 20 minutes or a half hour before I realize I can't help them.
Mhm.
And I got to get to the decision maker right away. Like, who helps you? Do you have a power of attorney? Or
Right.
are you even on Medicare?
Right.
Because a lot of times we think they're calling, we're getting the call, we're Medicare. They must be on Medicare. And then lo and behold,
Mhm.
I can't even help them. They're not
Right.
even on Medicare. So
Right.
live and learn. Ask that right up front.
Mhm.
Save yourself some time. And
Okay, so what's your goal out of that? To
ask right away.
Okay.
Who
to
helps
get
you?
the decision maker on the line,
Uh-huh.
whether it be the person or
Right.
Penny. Do you have the same? Some
Yeah.
some of these are a little bit easier
Right.
goal minded because verifying decision maker. I can't tell you how many people that you come from. If you've ever done business to business sales,
Mhm.
that's the very first thing you do when you get on the phone.
Oh, there's 20
Right.
gatekeepers before you get to the person.
Exactly. If
Right.
you do business to business, just because they go, we don't want you wasting 2-3 hours.
Mhm.
And then it
Right.
comes up, all right, well, I'm not the person with the checkbook, but hey,
Right.
that sounds
Yeah.
great. Go.
Yeah.
I did this to a lady that was a transfer here that I couldn't help at all because she was just on Medicare. She had her Advantage plan. There's no SEPs or something.
Right.
But she was like, well, any bill that I get, it goes to my son's house. Or if I have to pay anything, it goes to my son's house. And I go, okay, here's what you need to do. In October, when we take a look, you need to have your son with you.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody talk to
That's
you
good.
unless your son is there because it affects him more than you think. Because he's the one footing the bill for you. For you, it's easy breezy.
Mhm.
Everything's covered. You're not having to go through any bills or submit any claims, but
Right.
he is.
Mhm.
And he wants to know what the heck is going on
Mhm.
before his mom switches the plan.
Mhm.
And she goes, I never thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense. And I go, exactly.
Right.
So there are some things like that, but essentially my goal there is to get the person who has the checkbook, whose name is on the Medicare card, or the person that accompanies that person and get them on the line. If not,
Right.
I tell people too, I can't go any further.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just like, are you on Medicare? Like, we'll skip a little bit. Like that.
Excuse
Are you on Medicare? Well, I think so. Okay. Well, do you have a plan? He goes, I don't know. The doctor's office has it.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you paying? How much are you paying when you go to the doctor? Are you paying quite a bit? Your prescription. So yeah, my prescription costs a little bit. Okay. Do you even have an idea what company? He goes, I couldn't tell you. And I go, look, then I can't do my job
Mhm.
unless you give me something to work with.
Right.
And I'm okay with leaving. I'm okay with leaving that conversation.
Mhm.
I'm fine with it. Because, some people, you don't know what's going on. They could just be a little out to lunch,
Mhm.
could have some memory issues,
Right.
could have lost a card. Maybe that's why they don't have it on them.
Oh, goodness.
But I'm not afraid to tell people that are like, well, I don't know. Okay, it's fine if you don't know, but I can't help you unless I know something.
Mhm.
You have to give me something to work with.
Mhm.
And then I stop talking.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't say, so can you go get your card? Is that okay? I go, no, you have to give me something to work with so I can help you.
Mhm.
And then stop. Because if people go, he actually cares.
Right.
He's not trying to get my
Just
Medicare card.
Sell you
Right.
something. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's always one with decision making too. We'll kind of skip to that there.
Mhm.
Right.
But okay, so that one's done. Next one, setting expectations. That's kind of a quick one. I'll just hit that one real quick. Your goal, it's just saying that there is a reason why we are talking.
Mhm.
That's your goal for it.
Right.
You
Whatever
know,
they're asking
My
about.
goal is not, maybe there's something there. It's no. If you notice by the last end that I will help you reach your goal of getting dental,
Right.
getting coverage,
Right.
whatever it is. Instead, I'll look at your wish of having more dental. It's goal.
Right.
Goal. So that's one. Now, discovery and rapport, that's the next one there. That's just being a human. That's what it is. It's showing them you're a human, showing them that you have faults, showing them that you get vulnerable too, showing them everything like that. So that one we'll kind of skip over because everybody's a little bit different. But real quick, what's your goal with discovery and rapport?
If there is something that I can establish that we have in common with each other, I
Okay.
try to do that.
Okay. All right. Kim, what is yours?
Just spending as much time as making sure that I'm not ready to move on and I look and I've only been talking about discovery for, 5 minutes. Letting them really start to talk about myself a little bit more, bringing in my experiences based on
Right.
some of the things they're saying. Sometimes it's hard to start talking to them when they're very stoic, and you can't hear a dog barking or a bird twerping or chirping.
Yeah.
But, so how, and I always hate to bring it up, but how's the weather? But it's always seems to be like, if I can't get them to start talking to me, you got to come up with something. But
Right.
that's try to just talk about nothing else except for them or myself and make friends.
Right.
And that's basically the goal of it. You is not having a business relationship only. That's your goal.
Right.
Your goal is we need to bond over something.
Yeah.
So it's a we, it's not a me and you relationship.
Right.
It's a we.
Right.
Kind of same thing for you, but just a little bit different to where you want to say, look, I know this is Medicare, I know this is boring, but you get me at the end of this too.
Right.
So one trick now discovery, it's not always, in this case here, it's not always fifth. It could be second, it could be 10th, whatever it is. But like one guy I had yesterday, and this kind of goes back to basically combining control and discovery. It was one where he did that, well, you call me. And I go, well, I didn't call you. You call me. So what's going on? And there was a delay, and I tried to get his name and everything. He gave me his name. And he goes, yeah, that's a Cajun name. And I go, oh, you from Louisiana? And he goes, no, but my family is. And it kept like cutting in and out, whatever. But 2 minutes went by, and I said, well, he must be one of them Creole boys then, huh? And he's like, well, that was my daddy. And I said, ooh, but your daddy has some flavor to him, didn't he? He goes, yeah, he did. And then I go, it's so funny. You can tell the difference in culture of South Louisiana and North Louisiana, not only in the way that they talk, the way that they treat people, but also in their food. Like if you go get a bowl of gumbo in South Louisiana, they'll give you rice on the side. If you go get gumbo in North Louisiana, do you know what they'll give you? It's really weird. Potato salad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a random. See, I love traveling and eating. If you can't tell,
Yeah.
in Louisiana. Wow, thanks, Penny. That was real quick. But that's something from there. And then he was like, "You're absolutely right. They do a different culture." I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect." So, all right, when we get started here, this is what I'm going to need here. What's your zip code where you live right now? Because I know you don't live in Louisiana. Because I live in Washington. Okay, what's your zip code?
Right.
But I was able to have that little snippet that I'm
Right.
putting right here.
Right.
Say, okay, I know this guy. He's going to love flavor. He loves talking about his family already because he's talking about that's where his daddy's from.
Right.
He's got this Cajun and French name, and he speaks a little bit of French too. I've got this all up here for later.
Right.
But I'm still saying, look,
You're still doing
we can
that.
talk about this.
Yeah.
We just need to keep going forward. So I can keep bringing it up every 5 minutes or so, bring
Right.
something new into the conversation. But at the end of the day, it's saying, kind of like the situation that you're looking at, Manly, where he doesn't go off on a tangent about everything, where you can let them talk and you can have that interaction with them. But at the end of the day, you got to kind of put your foot down and say, all right, look, I'm the conductor of this train.
Right.
We can stop off real quick. We can use a potty break, but then we got to get back on the track here
Right.
before we get to where we're going.
Right.
So it's great. We have all these stories. I can't wait to share my stories with you, but we got to get going here.
Right. Right.
So the next one here, number 6. for CAP. Now, we've been over CAP before. Do you guys remember what CAP stands for?
I was just gonna say, I haven't read this in a very long time.
Don't tell me that.
Well, I mean, I'm doing a different script, so that's
Okay.
why, but.
CAP is something that it's in the other one as well too. It's just a different version of it.
Oh, okay.
So CAP stands for company, agent, policy, price, policy or product, whatever you want to go. If you look on the walls,
Yeah.
it's on that pillar right there. That's what CAP is. So CAP is also used in the close, what we do. That's a little Todd family secret, CAP. So in here, company is who we are.
Here we are.
Agent is who you are. Policy and then price. Here, we're talking about how independent enrollment center. Exactly. How we are not just one company. We represent every company. We've been doing this since 1984. We've helped tens of thousands of people. We haven't had a single complaint against us. We're a one-stop shop. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to be here longer than you're going to be on Medicare. The whole thing here. But that goal of this is to set up for your close almost. Because you're saying, look, this is who you are dealing with. I'm telling you straight up before we get into any type of business, this is who I am. This is who the company is. This is what's going on. That's the reason why we say that. Now, a lot of people, they're going to read it word for word. I like to throw in a little bit of flair for myself. Because if you notice before the Discovery Report, they said, well, you called the right place. Let me tell you a little bit about me and what I do for people just like you every day. So if this is somebody new, I like to say my name as much as possible. If not, there is a little trick if you guys want to try it. When you talk to somebody new, if you're just starting the conversation, they say, what's going on? I need help with this. Okay, perfect. Are you near a piece of paper? Do you have a pen? Okay, here's what we're going to do to start. I want you to write down my name. Write down my phone number, write down my company from the very first minute. So you have all this information. So we're not past the discovery part and we're at, oh, I'm so sorry. There's nothing more that I can't stand listening to calls or listening to people when you make a sale and then at the end of it and they go, I'm so sorry. What was your name again? Because then they don't know you.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
It's a powerful move to go from the start. Look, here is my name. Here is my number. This is my company. I want you to have this before we even talk about anything. So when it comes to describing who we are, that's why it's so important because not only are we doing it from the get-go, but it's going to come up in the close too. And we're going to get to that here in a little bit, but that is CAP. That's what we're working on the whole sales process. And then if you notice, once we get to the page here, that's when we go back and we recap before we do the close. So that is the goal for that, to tell them a little bit about us. And then the next one there, you can see seating expectations / test close. That is one, if I am feeling a little bit iffy on any reason, I'll do the test close real hard. I'll say, all right, so I know this is what your concern is. I can help you get this done today. And then go. Okay. Just like you see, if you could get everything that you're looking for today and move on with your life, you would agree, wouldn't you? Okay. That's what I'm helping for. That is the goal of these seating expectations, immediate actions, test closes. You want to know from the get-go, before we jump on this train together and take this ride, are you going to do something with me? Are you not? Because I'm not going to, I love you. You're a great human, but I got to make some sales here. So we can go on this trip together, but I need you to jump in with me. They go, okay, perfect. All right, let me ask you a few questions.
Right.
So that is the goal. Now, we get to something I have been waiting to bring up here. Qualifying questions. Penelope Sailor. what is your goal of the qualifying questions? In one sentence, what is your goal?
To find out as much as I need to help them reach their goal about their health, to help them reach their goal of whatever they said they needed or wanted.
Okay, I'm going to write that down here. I'll address that
Find
here.
out.
She hates it when I call her this, but Kimmy Joe.
I don't care. I keep wanting to walk in and say, hey, Kim Joe's in the dojo.
There you go.
It's just Joe is such a great middle name. Okay, what is your goal with the qualifying questions?
To see if there's any holes in their insurance or their health care as a whole.
Okay,
If there's a hole in the hole.
there's a frog on a log. Okay. So, I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Right, it can't be just the health
it
part.
can't be yours from what I'm saying, really from both of you guys too. The way you're looking at this is you're doing more discovery, which there's a time for discovery and there's a time for qualifying. What I'm doing here is my goal is to get a list of what, number one, you can qualify for. Number two, what can I sell you that is going to be there? That's why these questions are in order. Like, do you have Medicare? Yes. If you have Medicare, that's an immediate, okay, cast the wide net here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're on Medicaid. Okay. Got to go a little smaller here.
Right.
But that's why there are questions. Like, this is one of the older versions here. So it says life insurance instead of final expense or burial. So you ask that question, have you got your burial taken care of? And then from there, if they say, yes, perfect. Did you get the plot taken care of? Did you get the celebration taken care of? How much is it? I taught Penny a little phrase today, and it worked the very first time she tried it, where a guy had a plot of land. He had a cemetery family plot. And I go, okay, that's perfect. You're being proactive about it. You already got the space. Great. But who's responsible for what goes on besides the plot? Have you thought about that? And he was like, no, I haven't. Okay, that's something that we can think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding, and the more you do it, the more correct ways that you'll bring it up. That's why never be afraid to bring it up, because you never know what you're going to hear or what angle you might try and work in, or what you can try and say. Like the easy one is who comes and checks in on you, who takes care of you. Where if you're doing your discovery at the beginning, you could say it's Jan checks on me. Okay, perfect. Do you have a burial policy in place? No, you don't. Okay. Do you know who's going to be in charge? Is that going to be Jan? But yeah, more likely to be Jan. Okay. Does she know what's going on? Does she know what you want done? Have you had this conversation? There's so many things that you can go in. But from there, even if they say, yes, I do, I have a final expense policy. That's why those questions are in there. How long you had it? How much do you have? With which company? How much do you pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Victoria had one earlier today where she asked the lady, was like, yeah, I got final expense. She goes, okay, do you have enough? That wasn't how long have you had it.
Mm-mm.
That wasn't how much do you have.
Yeah,
That wasn't
it was
which company.
enough to
It
complete
was-
your wishes. It was really good, like a bit, really made that lady stop. and
It
think.
was an emotional
Mhm,
tie
mhm.
to where she's probably never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, I've got a term life policy until I'm like 40, so another 11 years. But it's like, it's like $250,000 or so. But if I'm talking to somebody and they go, is that enough? And we have an emotional connection, I'm going to go, oh God, if we got to put those dogs in the vet again, everything like that. I'm like, oh, I'm like, nothing positive ever happens when I'm away, so it's going to be more than 250 that they're going to need.
Right.
Type of situation, but it's that emotional connection there. And like the next one with hospital indemnity or cancer plan, we talked about Grip earlier this week, where he was talking about how he knows cancer runs in his family. He just knows it. He hasn't had cancer. His dad's had it twice. His mom passed away from it. He knows it's bound to happen for him. And so something when you're talking about, do you have a cancer policy? And they go, no, great questions. Does cancer run in your family?
Mhm.
You're still trying to do discovery per se, but you're getting an idea of combining wholes with discovery into what can I sell you and what can you qualify for. So you have a clear path by the end of this, what you can do.
Right.
So you're not stopping and saying, oh, you don't know what a cancer policy is? Let me tell you about it.
Right. We're not selling anything there. We're just discovering what we need.
I'm qualifying you for
Qualifying.
what you can purchase right now.
Mhm.
Okay. So just like if you are, and that's what I'm getting to. I'm going to use you as an example here in a second. But that's why, the dental, vision, and coverage, all of that is so important for everything you do. Okay.
Mhm.
Even going down to the tobacco. So yesterday, bless your heart here, Penelope. That's what I'm going to call you.
When I'm in trouble.
Not in trouble, but so it was after the dojo, and I went to take a lap, take a quick break, get something to eat. And I come back, and I hear you almost freaking out a little bit, asking Frank about this indemnity plan for this lady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, that lady, for qualifying questions, let's just go down this. Let's see. She's 94, right? Does she qualify for a dental, vision, or hearing plan?
Probably not.
Does she qualify for a final expense plan? I think 95 is a cutoff, but
Oh,
really
I was gonna say, I know it can't be under 50, but I didn't know there was a
50 to
on
80
the
is the
other way.
guaranteed
Yeah.
issue. But if you're 94, you're either super healthy or you're super sick.
yeah.
There's no in between.
Right.
It's gonna be super expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing. But some people actually get them when they're super healthy and they're like 91. Now it might be $300 a month and it might be $10,000, but they know it's coming.
Mhm.
But okay, so we'll say she's too old for dental. She's too old for final expense. She's too old for a cancer policy. She's not on Medicaid.
Right.
She has an advantage. Does she have an advantage plan?
No, she has original Medicare.
She
Wants to get free benefits.
She wants free benefits. Okay, so we're going down the line here. Okay, now, did you go into her health at all? Let's just
No, we didn't, and I mean that was with her. It was her power of attorney I was talking to.
power. Okay, that
Yeah.
tells me there. Power of attorney. Do you know how unlikely you are to get a med sub done under a power of attorney? Highly unlikely, like a 10 to 15%
The mom
chance
lives with them.
to do an underwritten power of attorney
Yeah.
policy. There's a whole lot of times when if you have a power of attorney, something's wrong. And
Yeah.
it's not just finances. That's why you have to have, that's what
Mhm.
Kim learned too, and that's what Christine, I'm teaching her this week as well, is there's a whole difference from, do you have a power of attorney? Yep, I do. Do you have a medical
Right.
power of attorney? You can have a power of attorney for your finances,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
you try to do something underwritten for a plan and you've got power of attorney, a lot of people won't let you do it. A lot of companies won't, because from their side, their whole thing underwritten is, what's your risk to us? You got power of attorney, you're already risky enough.
Right.
But so from there, so we know we can't do supplement, we can't do
Right.
final expense, we can't do dental, we can't do indemnity, we can't do, whatever it is. What is her only option? Advantage.
Adding an advantage plan
Okay.
in October.
Exactly. So she can't
I
do
mean,
advantage,
to
she
start
can't do sub, she can't do life, she can't do anything supplemental, hospital indemnity, cancer policy, can't do dental, vision, and coverage. From there, what is your goal after learning all of that?
We're making her an appointment for
Okay.
October or November so we can look at the new plans and see if we can help her.
That is why it is so important to, if we go back to number 2, which is gaining control, getting that information with birthday and zip code from the start. Because then from the get-go, okay, let's see, once we get to it, okay, you're just on Medicare. Do you have Medicaid? No, you don't. Okay. You want some plans with some more benefits. All right. I already know you're 94. I'm not getting your birthday later on down the road.
Right.
I'm getting your birthday and zip code right away because that's all I need to quote you. You go to Aetna, you go to Cigna, you go to Mutual of Omaha, whatever it is. What they ask for is how old are you and what zip code do you live in? That's all you need for any Medicare product. Even Advantage plans, even simpler. You just need a zip code. You don't need a birthday. You just need to see what's offered in their area.
All right.
But from all of that there, you know by the time that you get to it, okay, I can't help you with anything. You know, I can be a nice person. I can thank you for the call and spend a few more minutes with you. But like she had a hospital indemnity plan. She was
Right.
94. I can't help you with that anymore. You're too old. I can't get you a new one. I can't get you a better rate. You're 94 years old. Now, if you have a question, but if you don't know how it works, sure, I can explain it for you real quick. But I'm not going to go into the how long have you had it? How much has it covered? With which company?
Right.
I'm not going to go into all this detail if number one, I can't get you one. But number two, I'm mainly trying to build enough rapport and build enough credit to set an appointment with you and your power of attorney that you need to know.
Mhm.
Because in that way, that 45 minutes where you could have gone off just being so laser focused on this hospital indemnity plan, it could have been used somewhere else.
Mhm.
It could have been used a hit on her, if her power, do you know how old her power of attorney was?
No, I don't.
Did she-
And I spoke only, not ever to the beneficiary.
Okay.
And I think it was maybe Alzheimer's or something. I forget
Okay.
what but anyway, and I already knew I wasn't trying to do anything with her indemnity plan, but was unfamiliar when I was talking to Frank about how if there would be any strange effect when she does try to add
Mhm.
an Advantage plan later when she can,
Mhm.
whether that would have any strange effect or anything on that other indemnity plan.
Mhm.
But she couldn't find the information she had, so I didn't know what kind it was anyway, but that's okay.
So
That doesn't stop
So-
what we need to do is,
I want to make a comment. I know that you've been in the back of your mind really wanting to, and me as well, but you've verbalized it. I really want to figure out, and we talked about it last week, these ancillary products.
Yeah.
Ancillary, I always say that
That's
wrong.
okay.
And that we want to, we need to implement them more. And so in your defense, I kind of feel like she was just throwing it out there to start talking, at least just to start bringing it up. Whether or not you knew you could sell it, you just wanted to start talking about it.
yeah, I was just
To get
asking her what she
comfortable
had,
about it.
what her mom
Yeah.
had.
And then I think you were at a point where and I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think you were at a point where you were wanting to get into the site and price it out and talk about it, and you didn't know where to go, and that's whenever you brought
Yeah.
Frank in.
Mhm.
But I don't know that it was necessarily that you didn't think that you thought you were going to get a sale from it. You just
Right.
wanted to start talking.
Mhm.
We're just trying to play around with it a little bit, and then it's kind of like then we got stuck, as I feel would be.
Mhm.
And like, well, now where do I go? Now I got him interested. Oh no.
That-
Yeah.
That
No,
is why.
she was focused. The lady, the POA was
Yeah.
focused on, yes, she has this plan. I'm looking for the information she was looking. I didn't even know what kind she had or anything. And but I don't think we were trying to work on that part, but
yeah.
just the,
Two things with
Advantage.
that. The pro move that you do. This lady's 94, right? Power of attorney, more than likely her daughter.
yeah.
Mhm.
How old's the daughter?
Yeah, see, I didn't even ask her about that.
She might
Daughter's
be.
on Medicare.
She might be Medicare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most.
So
most
that
likely.
single one
Yeah.
turns into two. Say, that's what I would do. Think, okay, so that's it for your mom. By the way, if she's 94, how old are you? Oh, I'm 64.
Right. Right. And the mother, yeah, and the mother lives with them.
Hold my hand.
All right, we're gonna do this together.
Exactly. But that's what separates a lot of people too. Like a lot of people are afraid to, I don't want to say afraid to ask, but it just pop in their head. If I hear somebody in the background and it seems kind of like older or like spouse, or I'm like, oh, how old's your spouse? But just bring it up nonchalantly. It's like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No, I'm fishing for an answer here.
Yeah.
Like that lady, absolutely. I would have went, oh, how old are you? Like I was telling the story about how Christine's person that works with her brother. That's like a referral for somebody in Texas that she's working with. The guy was calling in, and it's about power of attorney for a guy with the Plan G and the Advantage Plan at the same time.
One.
And I asked the guy calling in, I was like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 74. And I'm like, you on Medicare? He's like, yeah, I'm on an Advantage Plan. I was like, okay, cool. Put that right here. So guess what? By the time I was done with that conversation in 45 minutes, he was like, man, these Plan Gs sound awesome. And I was like, yeah, man, and you're super healthy. You're super healthy too. And he was like, huh, why don't you call me back in October and we'll look at this? And I was like, respectfully, I would, but your Christine's brother is your agent. You know, that's for him. Have him explain it to you, have him go over it. You know. Now we're gonna help his brother that lives here in Texas, but I ain't trying to steal family business. You know, I ain't trying to get in the middle of that thing.
Right.
But I knew by me asking him that question, because it also tells me too, when we talk about powers of attorney, and I'll get off this rant here in a second, go back to what I was saying. A lot of them are the same age, or if around it by 20 to 30 years. So if you think about it, like for your daughter, how old's your daughter? Or one of your two?
39 and 38, 36.
Okay. And so it's around that same gap that I said for,
Right.
and they would be here about 15. Yeah, 15 or 10.
Yeah.
But that would be around your power of attorney group. Or if they did have to have medical power of attorney of you, it would be that 15 to 30 year range. So it's very similar. So if you're talking to somebody that's 80, there's a good chance the person you're talking to is 60.
Right.
Or even closer. So always bring that up. But going back to what kind of, we got about 10 minutes left or so. And we're at the point where I wanted to go. I mean, we can go back into selector questions and stuff like that, but it's really just the beginning and kind of directing everything. When we talk about ancillary products, this is what I was telling Penny too. That's why I made you that little sheet so you can see it.
Yeah, that was helpful.
You need to pick one company and go through everything, have those blank applications printed out, know how to quote it, know what the benefits are, know how to enroll. Because what happens is we really only have two options, Cigna or Aetna. You know I'm a Cigna homer. I just love Cigna. So anytime we talk about a final expense, hospital indemnity, cancer plan, dental, whatever it might be that is not a Plan G or a Medicare Advantage plan, I already know how Cigna operates. I got a rough estimate of what the rates are going to be. I know how to quote it. I know how to pull it up as quick as possible. I know all I need is their birth date, their zip code, male or female. That's it. And I have to click the little box, and then it'll give me a check mark, and it'll tell me what premium or what benefit number I want. I know that. I know what their health questions look like. I know Aetna too as well, just from all the experience there, that the actual Aetna final expense is the exact same health questions as the supplement. So if you ask the supplemental health questions, you already know the answers. That's why in that final expense string that I printed off for you guys, if you notice it's in there, well, since you already qualify for this, you also qualify for this as well. You might not know it. But again, too, there's a little trick that the Ascendo final expense is completely different underwriting than the Aetna final expense, than the Continental Life one.
Right.
So what you need to do, and this is for anybody out there that wants to fully dive into ancillary, is, time where you are not on the phone. Because the one thing I hate is I love people who want to learn. I do. Let's learn off the clock. Let's do a little homework on our own off the clock. Either do it after or come in early and do about it. Like the one guy that used to sit by me, I loved that he wanted to know everything. But guess what? The guy that we just interviewed here a few days ago, that's what he kept saying. He goes, I want to learn everything. I want to ask questions. I want to learn. And immediately I'm like, I'm going to get annoyed by this guy real quick. Because there's a lot of things that I do that if you're just starting in this industry, you don't need to know.
Well, and that's probably just kind of a blanket response in an interview. You
Yeah.
impress and be like, I want to learn your business, and
Or-
you know,
Or
no. In this particular case,
or like why did you do this there? Why did you do that there? Why
Yeah.
did you ask this? How do you ask this? You know, what's the different levels of Medicaid and everything? I'm like, you don't even know what A, B, C, and D are.
yeah,
Right.
We're not going to go into QMB, QMB
Right.
plus. We're not FBD. We're not going into any of that.
Yeah.
So stop asking.
yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And stay in there.
one thing at a time.
You know, I made a joke that I said, I wish everybody in this office could get a tattoo on their forearm that says namaste. And then underneath it, it says in my lane. So for the people that are like, well, what's this? What's that? And it's like, and you don't need to know it yet. It goes, no, namaste in your lane.
Yeah.
You don't need this yet. You don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But when it comes to ancillary, pick one company and stick with it
And okay,
and learn everything about it. Go ahead. I used to have it too until I remember. I think I have it on my tablet too. I have every ancillary product, their PDF printed off and the blank application. So I have the benefit PDF. I have the application PDF. And I can pull up any. I used to have them printed off, but then my binder thing got too big. And I was like, I hate flipping papers while I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
It just feels, you know, I don't like to feel recorded.
Mm,
I like to feel natural. If I'm sitting there going, you know,
and they keep-
Right.
flip, oh, if they can hear the flip, that just makes
Yeah.
my skin crawl too. Where electronically, it's fine. I'll go through the electronic thing just because I'm doing other stuff on the computer anyway. But if I physically have to go that, I'm like, I'm being too recorded. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
You
So
are
that's
quite
why
a multitasker.
that's
I tell you.
that's why I had to put it on the iPad. But you just remind me here, and this is what we got a few minutes left. This is what I said with your Illinois lady yesterday, when you were so worried about her Medicaid status.
Oh yeah.
And you go into Sunfire and they don't even offer D-SNPs in our county.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
No. Yeah, see, I can't really remember. I thought I did get her level. And that's because that's what the whole point was I wanted to, because we had a good conversation.
Mhm.
She's an AEP callback, and I wanted everything I needed to have
Mm-hmm.
in there, so that is all I had to do was cut and paste it into the application and be real quick about it, because AEP is go
Hey,
or
and-
whatever. Yeah, and when I want to.
Remember, if it's go, January 1st, your clients are going to go to another
I
plan.
know, but see, that's the thing with
Got it.
Advantage plans, though. See, and I've got to, that it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I mean, this is going to be my third AEP, and I've spent an hour with somebody. We are best friends, and I call them back, and maybe just a week is now time for me to sell them a plan, and they'll be like, "Who are you?" Or what? Or I thought I just talked to you yesterday and I just signed up a plan. I even had one lady tell me that an agent, she goes, "Oh, is this you, Kim?" And the agent went, "Yeah." And signed her up thinking, and she thought it was me. And I called her and she's like, "Well, you just did this." Like, they don't know.
Yeah.
And they'll forget about me in a heartbeat. So that's why I think that volume is more the important thing, because they are going to fall off. They're going to fall off like flies, whether I spend 5 hours with them or a half hour. In this, and I'm sorry, but that's where I'm.
It's okay. What I was,
I just totally disagree with
what
them remembering me. They're not.
what I was trying to point at here is this is why the zip code, you get it from the beginning here,
Yeah.
because it wasn't one for AP. It was the last one you wrote here at the end of the day.
Oh,
So you did enroll her.
Uh-huh.
But I remember this exactly because you sent me to Slack and I'm trying to let the baby birds fly. I'm saying, look, you've done this plenty of times. You got it. You can do
Yeah.
it. I trust you. You can do it.
Oh, you're talking about my deal.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
oh,
I'm talking about your deal here.
Oh,
but where
okay.
you're like, hey, can you look up this Medicaid for it? I'm like, you got it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out the state of Illinois doesn't hand out Medicaid levels because
Yeah.
Humana, Illinois is not an option. Now you can still go to
Right.
Cigna
Yeah.
and they'll
they
tell you if
think
they're
so.
on Medicaid or not.
Right.
But they don't give you their level of
Level.
Medicaid. Well, do you know what I did exactly when you told me that? I went to Sunfire, I typed in her zip code, and I went to D-SNP. And guess what there was?
None.
No D-SNPs.
Yeah.
So level of Medicaid doesn't matter
Right.
at that
Right.
point. So
Right.
sometimes you get so consumed with discovering everything
Yes.
and just in doing it by the
That's
book
right.
that you need to. This is why I know the multitasking and everything like that. You need to get good at it quicker, because the quicker you are with at least finding what you can do with a birthday and a zip code, the easier it's going to be. Immediately, if I'm talking to somebody and they give me their birthday and they give me their zip code, I'm in Sunfire.
Already
Zip
put
code
it
in, view all plans. Hold up. I'll
Yeah.
click on Advantage, I'll click on DSNP just to see if there's something
Right.
there. Because then
Yeah.
when they bring up,
Good idea.
you're on Medicaid, but you don't have a DSNP plan, well, let's get you a DSNP plan.
Right, and there are
How many
I
people in
know.
California have you talked to that are on Medi-Cal, and you go to DSNP and you're like, yeah, let's find you more benefits. Let's find you a plan that
Right.
works with your
on
Medi-Cal.
the wrong plan.
And you click on DSNP and it says 0.
Yeah.
And I told you guys too, there's probably a reason if they're on Medicaid and they're not on a DSNP,
Yeah.
there's probably a reason there. So immediately, going through saying, well,
Yeah.
we need to get your Medicare number. We need to get your level of Medicaid to see what plans you can qualify for. You need to check that first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's your start out wide and
Right.
come down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because then this whole presentation that you're going through, if you have blindfolds on and just say, I'm going to sell you a DSNP plan.
Right.
You're going to buy a DSNP.
I
You're
know,
going to buy a
some areas
DSNP.
have nothing.
They're the best.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah.
Or they aren't accepted by any doctors.
Or
they
you
go
say,
to.
why don't you have a DSNP? You're on Medicaid. You're supposed to have one. Why don't you have one? You're dumb. Well, you're not dumb, but you're missing out here. We need to get you one. We need to get you one. So you're building up this whole entire thing
Yeah.
for you to get their doctor, for you to, get their meds, ask them about everything else, just to click on Sunfire and go, crap. I've spent 50 minutes with this
Yeah.
person,
Right.
and there's not a DSNP, and there's one food card that gives them $5 more.
Yeah. Right.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why it's out
Going
of
to Sunfire is almost as immediate, and it just kind of clicked recently. I need to go straight to Sunfire, put in the zip code, and even see what's
Yeah.
going
But
on.
when you do that, you're not deviating off of everything else.
Right.
You're still doing it. That's why it's always, you can keep tabs open all you want. The 4 tabs that I have open on the right side of my screen are my email. I have my portal passwords, which also save your portal passwords. Frank Bryant, I don't care what you say. Save your portal passwords because it's so much easier.
It
Yeah.
goes so much
Once you're
faster.
by yourself, save your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about going to the thing, copying and pasting, or
Right.
anything like that. It's already in there. You just click go and you're good to go.
Right.
So have that open there. Number 3, I have Sunfire. Number 4, I have my script.
Okay.
But I know if I'm getting swamped down, number 5, I've got that Cigna quote and enroll up. Because if I know what we're doing from here, and this is, again, my goal in gaining control here, not my wish. My goal is to know everything I can do for you
Mhm.
while we start this conversation.
Right.
Mhm.
So you can direct kind of the flow of the conversation a little better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even if, say it's a T65, okay? And you're opening up this oyster here. And this beautiful T65 is sitting right there. And you just want to just coddle it. You want to caress it. You love this. You're saying, woo, this is about to be fun, right? You open it up. You're like, this is going to be amazing. But you only focus on the plan G, or you only focus on the Advantage plan.
Right.
That big payday pearl went like that.
Yeah.
Now it's that big
Mhm.
because you get so ingrained on focusing, you're getting a plan G. Or you get so focused on, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get you a Cigna plan. I'm going to get you a Cigna dental. I'm going to get you a Cigna life. I'm going to buy you a Cigna sweatshirt and ship it to you. You are going to love Cigna. Okay, great. You go to their zip code. Cigna's not offered.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it takes experience and it will take time, but you have to recognize some of the patterns here. Like for some reason, I've probably got about 20 people that live in Alaska that are Plan G holders with me. They all have the same company. They all have Mutual of Omaha. They only offer 3 companies because there's not that many people there. So it's not a big market. So it's not very competitive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I know if somebody calls me in from Alaska, well, the only company I have is Mutual. So if you want a dental plan, if you want, you know, whatever type of ancillary plan you want, all I have is supplement and dental. Nobody else operates there. So there's not a lot of reason for me to go into this huge 45-minute debacle of life insurance, of a cancer policy, of whatever it is, because I can't. These are the only 2 things I can do. Now, do I still ask them about it? Yes, I do. Just because that's a part of me doing my job, my due diligence, to find out more about them, find out how they work. Because you know what? With their burial policy, it goes back to the POA thing. To where, yeah, my sister takes care of that. Well, how old's your sister? Well, she's 62. Oh, that's awesome. What's her name? Oh, her name's Penny. Her name's Penny too? Yeah, that's easy to remember. Okay. And guess who puts a note in or puts an appointment in 2.5 years from now? Sister turns 65. Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
There's reasons you still go through everything, but at the end of the day, you have to know right when it starts, what you can do. Because if you become so asphyxiated on one certain thing and one certain thing only, and then it's not offered,
Right.
then all that credibility, all that control,
Yeah.
all that
Goes out the window.
attaining a goal goes to, well, I wish they had a D-SNP in the area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is what I feel like I've rambled enough here. It's already 1:06, and we got Sammy's in the break room. So
That's right.
that is
was
it for
good.
today. Thank you,
Good
ladies.
stuff.
Thank you. This was
Jacob.
awesome.
Hope this kind of helps see why we do things a certain way
Yeah.
and why certain things are there and kind of how to attack it better. So we are certainly motivated. We're going to go eat our sandwiches or our salads. We are going to do that. So for everyone here, thank you for sticking around. Sorry, it's kind of a philosophical one, but it was a more pen to paper. This is why we are the way we are. If you are an agent, you have questions about this, ask us about this. If you are a customer, you see why we're some of the best in the industry. Because everything that we've talked about here, it's not, I'm forcing this down your throat. It's, this is what can help you. If you already have it taken care of, perfect.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Buckley. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you,
Y'all have a
ladies.
great weekend. And this one's for you, Mason. Go sell something.